your sterile tray, you would just drop it like that. Open it up and drop it like that. So you can go ahead and open them up and drop them. But I'm going to have you come down, and we have a needle driver right there. So the doctor would open this up and drop that out onto the tray. And he would tell you what we wanted. And this one is a 3-0 polyglycolic acid suture. So this is synthetic absorbable. So the suture we're actually using in this package today would absorb. We wouldn't be using it on the outside, but we have it, so we're going to use it. So you're going to very carefully take this out, and you very carefully get that needle so that it's going down and you have this long bit of business. Okay, we're going to need, every tray is also going to need a hemostat. It's called a hemostatic forceps of some kind. So I'm going to lay this out so it's a little easier to get a hold of. And why you need two of you is probably because one person needs to hold the person at the other end. But I want you to kind of gather around. Well, we might have some sponges on here too. Can you go into the bandaging behind you and grab some 2x2s out of there? Okay. So you might have some of those to dab blood or whatever. So frequently you would just grab with the skin. You might grab that piece of skin, drive that needle through, and then it's going to come up the other side.
It's like sewing, right?
It is sewing. It's exactly sewing. I haven't done this in a long time, so my skills aren't what they were. So you're going to pull that. The patient should have been numbed already. Hopefully not, unless you're Rambo. So you're going to pull that to where there's not very much left over here. This is a long piece of stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is take the end of this, and I'm going to wrap this around a couple of times. And I'm going to, and it should be kind of tight. This is a really long piece of business. And I'm going to reach in and grab hold of that one and hold it tight. And then I pull the threads right down off the end like that, and that makes your knot. And you try and pull your knot sort of to one side. And then you do it again. I'm going to let go of that just for a second to make this a little easier. And then I go around. And the whole trick of doing all this, when it goes at that time, you go around and around, and then you reach the string. So we're not going to do like a gazillion of these. We're just going to get the idea of what it is that you do. You go around and around. This is why doctors break into a sweat. And then we grab that in. And they really practice to get good at this. Not the skin, just there we go. And you pull it through, and you tie a knot. And that's how you suture up the skin. So, and then they come back and cut. And you can do that a couple of times so you get it nice and tight. And then you cut it with a bunch of business like that to hang.
So do you make a bunch of these knots, or do you keep sewing it?
No, you cut, you make a, this is interrupted that we're doing here today. So if we were going to do that again, you want to see that again?
Yeah.
Or you want to just start?
Do it again.
See it again? Okay. So very careful with the needle. And you have to be careful to leave enough of this out at the other end that you don't accidentally pull it through. That's why these pieces are so long.
Is there a reason why that's so stiff and it's not soft like normal thread?
Well, it's coated with stuff for one thing. Around. Grab the end, pull it through. And they get really fast. Have you seen docs on TV? They're really fast. They whip that around. Grab that in. You pull it through. And get that second one. But you getting the idea here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so someone can finish on this one. You wrap it. Okay.
Yay!